All right, so then, boys, let me just dispel a myth that you guys probably didn't know about, but you can simultaneously lose body fat while also gaining muscle, and certainly you can keep the muscle while losing body fat. This is basically called recomping, right? So how do we do recomping, or how do we actually simultaneously drop body fat while simultaneously adding muscle to our frame? Because ultimately and fundamentally, that's how you get the fastest transformation, because none of us are pinning stuff in our arms, right? So the fastest way for you to see a massive change in this program is by simultaneously dropping body fat really quickly while simultaneously slowly adding muscle to your frame. Because just understand as well, as although you can build muscle while cutting, it's going to be slower than if you were to bulk. However, when you do bulk up, guess what? Every bulk has to come to an end eventually. Otherwise, you'll die of obesity, right? So every time you bulk up, you'll gain muscle faster, yes, because obviously mass moves mass, right? However, when that bulk finally does have to come to an end, either because you're going to die of obesity or because you just hate what you look like, you're going to have to cut eventually. So whether you decide to waste your time and go on a bulk or not, or whether you decide to just listen to me right now, eventually you're going to have to cut while holding on to that muscle on your frame, or at least cut while building muscle on your frame. Fundamentally, for us to build muscle, we only need a stimulus to grow. We need water in the muscles and we need protein, okay? So we only need three things. At no point did I say that we need to have a calorie surplus to gain muscle. So we only need three things, and I've just said them, right? So water is pretty fucking easy. You just drink water all the time. Our muscles are made of water, so we actually need water for it to show, right? Protein, it's pretty hard not to get enough protein in. You have to be probably eating a diet where you're trying your hardest not to get enough protein in. So don't worry about protein and don't worry about water. The stimulus to grow, that is the key. So what is a stimulus to grow? Progressive overload. So all we have to do is make sure that while we're cutting, our weights are either going up or at least staying the same. That is how you know you're keeping the muscle on your frame. You're not going to be able to drive yourself mad and look at yourself in the mirror every day and notice whether your muscle's coming off your frame or not. But what you can do is make sure that your weight metrics are staying at where they were or going up. Trust me, boys, I've been doing this for a while, and you can certainly cut while going up in the weight room every single week, as long as you do it slowly enough. If you were to cut in a 1,000 calorie deficit every single day, that means you're going to be losing about a kilo a week. That might be too fast for you. If you're a guy that's really heavy and you've got a really heavy starting point and you're really high body fat, then maybe you can get away with losing a kilo a week. But if you're somebody like me who's already kind of lean and you're probably trying to get down to about sub 10% body fat, you don't want to be losing a kilo a week. The slower the better for you, because the more we cut in a deficit, basically, we're going to be eating less food. And then because we're eating less food, we're going to have less energy. And then it's going to make it harder for us to go to the gym. And then when we go to the gym, we're not able to hit the same numbers. That's why people struggle to cut and keep their muscle on their frame. So another massive important thing as well, boys, I should have said this at the beginning of the video, but whatever you did to build the muscle is what you have to do to keep the muscle. And another thing for you guys to keep in mind as well, if it took you 12 sets a week of chest in order to build the chest, it's only going to take you 4 sets a week to maintain it, because you only need 1/3 of the amount of volume to keep the muscle as you did to build the muscle. But you have to make sure the intensity is still there. So that's why it is so crucial that you guys are tracking your weights down. If you guys aren't tracking your weights down while you're cutting, you're going to be losing muscle and not body fat, which means you're going to look worse. Your metabolism is going to be slower, and it's just going to fuck you up basically, because your metabolism is going to be a lot slower, meaning you can't eat as many calories per day, meaning it's going to be harder for you to keep your weight low, and it's going to be easier for you to gain weight and gain body fat. Because fundamentally, if your metabolism's lower, that means you're going to have less calories to play with every single day. That means you're going to have less food to eat every single day. And that means that over time, you're probably going to eat above your calories. And if you eat above your calories, you eat in a calorie surplus, it's going to make you gain body fat. Okay? So just understand that, boys.